Yep.
You guys didn't seem to play to their identity at any point tonight. What did you think was the reason for that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say at any point. I thought we had a pretty good couple runs there in the second half, Doug, where we were doing some things. I thought, I think we cut it to 11 and had the ball, and we had a bunch of possessions in a row where we were doing the right things and obviously scoring at the other end. But you're right. There was listen, I think not so much our guys. I just think they were really great. I think they were fast and physical and making shots and zinging the ball and not turning it over and crashing the glass, and they were really great. So I give them a lot of credit.
Chasing Maxey around, it's a hard thing for anybody to do, but Fred doing it on a sore knee with a lot of help. What did you think allowed Maxey to get off like that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got him going early with a couple good little sets that got him downhill. He got some really naked looks. I think we did a lot of some of that stuff in the first half was just on us. We just weren't, maybe more to your first question, we just weren't quite connected defensively and making the right reads on some of that stuff. There was just too many, just wide open looks, and we're going to be in and moving around a lot, but usually springing back out there to a shooter, and there was a lot of those uncontested, and he just kept finding everything. He found transition, he found kick out threes, he found little slip out pick and roll plays heading downhill pretty fast, and you're right, we just didn't catch up to him very good tonight.
Do you have an update on Scottie?
Well, yeah, Scottie, hurt his ankle. They did X-ray it. The X-rays are negative. There'll be some further imaging tomorrow. And then the same with Thad. Thad hurt his thumb. X-rays were also negative, but also further imaging tomorrow. I'm probably going to get fact-checked on that, but for sure it felt like it. I haven't felt like it. But just goes to not enough ball pressure, Dave, not enough active hands, probably not enough physicality, the things that you need to do to, we usually are good at surprising you when you make a turn move or whatever and somebody else is coming in behind. And I thought, listen, I thought we got our hands on some tonight. We really got well, I thought some of those were good steals going the other way and didn't turn out that way. So hopefully we'll get some of those clean ones to go our way.
What was obviously coming into the series, a lot of talk about your guys' offensive rebounding.
Yep.
What kind of allowed things to flip around the other way?
Again, I think their energy was tremendous. They had their guys ready to go. Their home crowd, their bench guys all came in with tremendous energy. I just thought once we contested the shot, we were trying to take a quick breath of fresh air, and we shouldn't have been doing that. We should have grabbed the ball, then took our breath of fresh air. They were just beating us to them, and I can remember a couple of them clearly where I just saw guys kind of stand up straight-legged, thinking okay, we just did a good job of contesting the shot, and then it bounced out. And I didn't think our secondary rebounders were good enough, meaning we block out and the ball would bounce up, and that means somebody else has to come kind of flying in from behind and take it because you're in physical block out with the guy. So that was one thing I thought I saw too. But again, they just played, with great intensity and speed and physicality that we didn't match there early, Tim.
You've got a lot of questions the last few days about how Scottie would react to his first game of playoff basketball. Before he got hurt, what were your impressions of how?
No, I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was playing good, Josh. I thought he looked confident out there and was making good plays. I would have liked him to get a few more attempts at the rim or just shot attempts in general, right? But he was, he put up, 15? He was getting to the free throw line. I thought he was cutting well. He made some nice passes. I thought he looked like he belonged out there, for a young Rookie in his first playoff game on the road against a really good team. I thought he looked like he belonged out there.
The other guys, so Precious and Chris,
Yep.
didn't have an immediate impact in that first half when they generally gassed up the game. They didn't in that first.
No, they didn't. And again, that's I would say you could kind of look at that almost blanketly. All their bench guys came in and contributed with speed, energy, shot making, et cetera, and ours didn't. And as you know my thoughts on that. Those guys ride together, right? They'll be better. We know that.
Nick, what were your impressions of Harden tonight just as a point guard? I mean, everything is expected of him, but he seemed to.
He was great. No, he was great. I thought he controlled the game. I thought when he needed to go in there and knock people over and lay it in, he did. When he needed to step back and make a three, he did. He had a really efficient night, and I thought he really controlled, the offense too. He got the ball where he wanted it to go. He'd call a set. They'd get it to where it wanted, where they wanted it, and I thought he ran the show really well tonight.
What's the key to responding to the rematch coming right up?
Well, we got to learn some lessons from today, right? I think not only tactically, but also just mentally and physically, right? And we got to play a lot better, a lot tougher. Bring it to them a little bit more. We know that we need all our guys to contribute, right? I would say we had, not enough of them hitting at a, like I always say, it's you don't have to play a great game, but we need you close to average, right? We had a bunch of guys that can come up to average or even over, right? And they got to do it collectively. You got to band together and do it collectively and be a little bit more of the hard playing team and a little bit more of the scrambling type team and get to more loose balls and more rebounds, et cetera.
Were you surprised that you didn't come out that way? Because pressure was on them. You guys, the underdogs.
Well, Dave, I'm not too surprised by anything these days. I think that I'm not surprised they were highly motivated and ready to go. I think there's a lot of expectations on them. I think they were going to try to bully us right off the floor and deliver a blow to see if we'll go away. Now we're going to find out if we will or not.
Anybody else in the room? No. Go ahead, Josh, with virtual questions.
Thank you. First of all, Oren myself, everyone. And
Hi, Oren.
what did you make about the way that they attacked the offensive glass? They're a team that didn't do that a lot in the regular season, but they sent multiple bodies there. Did you guys expect that? And then on the other side of the floor, how did they take away your guys' offensive rebounding?
Well, I would imagine that was probably number one on their list of emphasis here this week going into the game. We've had a lot of success on the glass with them at both ends. And rebounding is a lot about just straight desire, hustle, and, speed and physicality. And they had all of those, just a notch ahead of us tonight. I thought they did a good job of blocking us out. Maybe we didn't go quite as hard as we normally do, so we need to improve that. But we've got to do a better job again of getting into bodies. And again, it's all five of us trying to rebound and help each other out there.
Thanks.
Michael Grinch. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Michael.
When you look at Embiid and he, I think he put him on the floor, he put Scottie on the floor, he kind of got into it with a couple other guys. When he's playing that big and ornery, I guess, what's your counter to that? Like, how do you guys?
Well, our counter is we gotta believe that if we're legal defensively, that they're gonna call those. Right? Like, we had a couple times where we beat him to the spot and he bowled us right over and they just let him lay it in. I don't care if you're 5'11" and 160 pounds, if you beat him to the spot and he runs you over, it's a foul. I thought he threw 3 or 4 elbows to the face. He got called for 1. Okay? We're going to stand in there, but we just need, if we're legal defensively, then we got to have him called or we don't have a chance. Period. Nobody can guard that guy if he's just going to let him run. They're just going to let him run you over time and time again. But we're going to stand in there and we'll see if we don't get a few more elbow to the face calls and a few more beating them to the spot calls.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Next we'll go to Ryan. Neil, go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Coach. Stephen Curry can kind of tilt the floor with what he does on the basketball court. When you have an MVP candidate in Joel Embiid, you have former MVP in James Harden, then you have Max, who was 4 or 5 from the field in the first quarter. He had 10 points really quick. He had 36 points over 3 quarters. When you have all 3 of those players tilting the floor, warping the floor, how much of a nightmare can that be to scheme for moving forward in this series?
Yeah, I mean, listen, tonight it was tough, right? Again, those guys were all cooking on all cylinders, made every play, right? We certainly are going to need to guard Harden and Maxey better than we did tonight. A little bit better challenges, hang in a little bit better on the drives, and take a look at that. But again, I think you got a lot of schemes going for Embiid, and there's going to be some other guys out there making plays, and they're not considered a really good team. They got an NBA team. They got a lot of guys out there that can shoot and make plays, and they're getting the opportunity to do that tonight. And they really had a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, and got it going.